can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink 3-pointers, money shots all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Amex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums, like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch storage type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like porch lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, the scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Bless.
Crumb TV.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, 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 welcome to another episode of Melanin Mondays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. All right, and it's 11:11. All Moors go to heaven. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we are blessed, favored by the universe. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the building. That song that you just heard, that intro right there, that is Theta Flow. That is the Theta Wave featuring the Twin Pillars, Red and Blue Pillar. You know what I'm talking about? Off of that Twin Pillars project. So yeah, that part. It is not on streaming. People are asking me if it's on streaming. It is not on streaming. We do not have it on streaming. We will let you know when it will be available, along with all of the other songs that we've been playing, y'all. Okay? This is the warm-up. All right, now, let's go ahead and let's do the roll call. Let's go ahead and let's do the roll call. All right? How we sounding on the audio, ladies and gentlemen? How is it sounding? Is it coming through clear and is it coming through loud? I just need to know. We got Houston in the building. Shout out to Houston in the building. All right. Salute to Houston. Salute to Hawaii in the building. Oregon. Shout out to Oregon. Shout out to Charleston and whatnot. Shout out to Arizona, Mississippi, DMV, Lansing in the building. Shout out to Bangkok in the building. Cincinnati in the building. East Flatbush, Detroit up in this thing. Ohio. Lake Charles, California. Yes, sir. Northern Canada, Chickasaw, Ohio, Richmond, NC in the building. Kentucky outside. Ohio is here. Broward County done pulled up. Detroit in the building. Cape Verde, Ireland, UK in the building. 3 a.m. crew. We got Phuket, Thailand. Gainesville, Georgia up in here. Houston is up in here. Shout out to everybody that signed up to the YouTube channel. KTL, the original Know the Ledge. All right. I'm going to drop that in the chat. I need everybody to go and sign up to the Know the Ledge channel. We've been dropping classic videos over there. We've been dropping classic videos over there. You know what I mean? Giving people them throwbacks and whatnot. So shout out to everybody that's tapping in. I appreciate that. Let me pull up that page and then drop that link for you. Yeah, don't shy. All right, now. We got Los Angeles, South Los Angeles. The MI crooked letter. Cincinnati, Vegas, Chester, Pennsylvania, Vermont. All right, now. There we go. Know the Ledge Media. Go ahead and tap in. You know what I'm saying? Go in the DeLorean and go back in time. You'll be pleasantly pleased as to what you hear and what you see. The boys been outside talking that talk, talking that dog food. What do they call it? Dog shit? Oh, okay. Ohio in the building. North Las Vegas in the building. PNW, Fort Lauderdale, Yay area. All right, now. So we are in the building on this beautiful Monday, this moon day in the month of March. We do have some announcement that we need to make, and we'll wait until we're somewhat in the middle of the show. Okay. Shout out to everybody that's been signing up for the Techno Bowl in Atlanta, mañana, tomorrow at Spin City headquarters. Techno Tuesdays IRL, episode number 52, ladies and gentlemen. One whole year, one entire year of delivering information about this technology, you know what I'm saying? This techno wave. So tomorrow is the Techno Bowl, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at 5,000 Butner Road. There'll be more at the door. Go and get your tickets from the website, from the Eventbrite. It'll be less on there, all right? Shout out to everybody that's pulling up, okay? Techno Bowl, that is Techno Tuesday's anniversary event. We'll see you in the building. All right. R.I.P. B.I.G. Man, I spent the whole day listening to really listening to like Biggie that I didn't listen to. I don't know. The commercial Biggie just don't hit the same for me. I don't know what it is. But the underground Biggie just works better for me right now. I don't know. I'm not doing a lot of commercial shit. The commercial things ain't really, it don't hit the same. If I hear Diddy in the background, it just don't hit the same. However, I was definitely going down memory lane, you know, tapping in and just going through the what ifs. Like, damn, really? Like, what if? I think J. Cole got a song and I saw people putting the video up and it was dope. It was dope. It was a what if song. What if Biggie and Pac never had beef? Like, what if they just squashed it and whatnot? Where would the game be? Where would hip hop be? You feel me? What would the vibes be? So it was shout out to B.I.G., man. You know what I'm talking about? I rely on Bed-Stuy to shut it down if I die. You know, shout out to Bed-Stuy. I'm waiting for you to shut it down. You feel me? But yeah, man, do you realize that he did what he did in 3 years? A lot of people think that Biggie was out for so long. A lot of people think that Biggie was an artist that was on the scene forever. He came out with a single, Party and Bullshit, but he really started buzzing. His pop out was 93 and he got popped in 97. So a 4-year run put the whole game in a headlock. You feel me? Like for real, for real. Brought the East Coast back. Let's talk about it. You know, shout out to what they over there doing in the West Coast. Shout out to the Snoop Doggy Dogg. He knocked down the buildings. Shout out to Dr. Dre and all of that. But no sirree, Bob. That sound, that whole entire shit got switched real fast. And in the later years, Tupac definitely was on his ass and what pause. Tupac was on his head top. You feel me? And he was wrestling that shit back and bringing it to the West. I will never take anything away from Tupac Amaru Shakur. He came and he was snatching wigs. I ain't gonna lie. But homie outlived him. And that last project, that double album, solid, you know, solid. I wasn't hearing too much from that side after that, you know what I mean? However, the unreleased Pacs, all of those was hard. Machiavelli is a classic. Like that was his best album, if you ask me. But yeah, I remember the day. I remember the day. I know where I was at. I remember exactly what I was doing. I remember how everything changed after that day from a New Yorker's perspective, respectfully. You feel me? Like it hit us differently when Biggie got clipped. From a New York perspective, I remember that day to the fullest. What were y'all doing on March 9th, 1997? What were y'all doing on March 9th, 1997? Here we go with so for the record, both artists classicals. Like I can't compare Tupac against Biggie. There was completely different flows, completely different energies, completely different quote unquote approach and whatnot. She was 2 years old. Oh Lord. Damn, I gotta take y'all down the Unk train. I feel so nigga, I was on Rikers Island, bro. Oh man, I was in C-74, bro. Being a badass child. I was young, bro. I don't know what I was doing. Oh yeah, I had a violation. It wasn't no hardcore shit, but I was definitely in mod 6 on the island. You feel me? Your boy I was locked in. And I got the call. Like I woke up like 7 a.m. Yeah, free red. I couldn't even do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to hold it down. But yeah, man, I was in the beast. That I'm look, man, nothing that I promise you, nothing to brag about, nothing to be proud about. You know what I mean? It's nothing to be proud about, man. But that's definitely what that's the truth. I would have to lie if I was like, yeah, I was chilling in college listening to nah, niggas. I was going through my rites of passage, you know, passing through, and it was a shocking moment. It was a shocking moment. You know, it was shocking awe. You feel me? And I'ma just keep it 1,000. You know, like he had the soundtrack to the younger generation that was living life outside of the lines. Like we were drawing outside of he was the soundtrack to the Misfits. He was the soundtrack to the quote unquote to the generation that had already grew up, you know, and we were already downloaded with you know with the virus, you know. We went through that West Coast era from like 90 to 93, hyper violent, very, very quote unquote anti-establishment. Like we was being prepared, we were being groomed and whatnot, low key by those lyrics. You feel me? And those movies and all that shit that the CIA was dropping on us. You know? And I was young. I was dumb. I was living my life, you know, chasing the high. You feel me? Chasing the allure. What was I, 17 or something? 17 or 18? Yeah, man. You know? And Biggie was our soundtrack. He was the one who made us feel like all of this shit was a movie. He made it a movie for us. Like all of the rappers kind of did. Mobb Deep, Nas, just the DJ Clue mixtape by itself, nigga, soundtrack on I-95 doing that. You know what I mean? Getting it the Brooklyn way. You know what I'm talking about? Breaking bread the Brooklyn way on I-95, scheming. You feel me? We take this shit on the road. You know what I'm talking about? We was pulling up. I remember going to man, I remember going to Hampton Homecoming just to see Biggie. I remember going to I seen Nas in Union Square in DC at a homecoming performing in a train station. Shit was crazy. Those was those was the man. It's hard to explain. I could only show the pictures and some of the videos and whatnot. I don't even have footage like that from back in those days. We wasn't the picture taking type. Like people was not sitting around taking pictures back in those days. You didn't have no camera phones and whatnot. You had to take the crew picture and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? With the screw faces and whatnot. Or if you had a little fine shit, you know what I'm talking about, and she had the Kodak and whatnot, you would pose with her, but we were not walking around taking pictures. And some people you couldn't even take a picture of, you know? And some people you couldn't even take a picture of. They wasn't having it. They didn't want to show up in no pictures. Times have changed drastically. I'm a picture taking ass Negro right now. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? I need a contract with Kodak. As many damn pictures I done took, you know. But yeah, those were those days, man. That's why when it comes to chastising the youth of today and to be like, how are they hypnotized by these ratchet performers and whatnot, and what's going on in their brains, nigga? What was going on in my brain? What was going on in the brains? Not just my brain. They had my whole entire generation hypnotized. You know, Red, you supposed to get that picture with Khalees. You understand? I probably do have a picture with her. I mean, knowing me, I damn sure took a picture with Khalees. You know what I'm talking about? It's yeah, we gotta find that somewhere. But it wasn't on camera phones. You understand? It was in those cameras. This I seen Khalees in Atlanta. She came to Atlanta. I was at Visions and I pulled up on her. This was like 99, I believe, and we did flick it up. I just don't know what the hell happened with that. I've been seeing her in Africa moving around now. Yeah, I've been seeing her moving around. She in Zimbabwe or one of them places moving around, you know? But yeah, with the youth right now, even from the boys and the girls, you know what I mean? They are underneath spells. The girls of my days were underneath Little Kim and Foxy Brown's spell. Like we was underneath Biggie's spell. They was definitely Foxy and Kim had casted a spell first on Brooklyn, then on the other five boroughs, then they hit us with then that shit spread out. Because when I went to the college, when I went to the homecomings, them girls was like, you know, I'm talking, because think about it. New Yorkers, right? Let me give you the skinny on how New Yorker was, right? Like how New York was prior. This is pre 9/11 game. So New Yorkers had the baddies and whatnot. And our women were, they were like, what I'm saying? They was, I won't say promiscuous, but they was with the shits. But everybody knew that the minute you crossed the Mason-Dixie line, or the minute you went to like Virginia's for lovers, everybody knew that down south, that's where you get the baddies, the girls that you probably never seen, certain stocks and pedigrees and whatnot. And they loved them a New York man. They want a roughneck, right? They love it. They loved it to them, the New York swag. I go dolo from state to state. You know, that belly shit. So whenever we would go out of town, it was like Prince Charming is pulling up. You had to be ready. You know what I'm talking about? Because the minute you hit the spot, it was on and popping. You know what I'm talking? You had to be ambidextrous. You had to know how to juggle, my genius, because you just wasn't attracting one woman's. They was on you like you was a bottle of, like you was a jar of honey in a beehive. You know, we used to watch School Days and shit like that. So we would go to the homecomings. But what about Freaknik? You know what I mean? I didn't make it even that far, because Freaknik, you got to go all the way past all of the freaks to make it to Atlanta. We was getting trapped by the freaks in Virginia, and then in the Carolinas. I had went to Greensboro to ANC and got a taste of the ANC crowd. And I was out there for about a weekend or maybe a week. Yeah, I was definitely ready to move down south after that. But you know, we had the soundtrack. We got the mixtapes. We got the music. You know what I mean? We all of these rappers. We talking about golden era hip hop. It wasn't just Biggie. Let's be clear. He just, when his shit came on, it just hit differently. Or it just, to be honest with you, it wasn't even like Biggie was a standout. Everybody was bringing it in that era. 96 Purple Tape. Nas is going crazy. They got the Firm, my G. Junior Mafia going crazy. Kim is going crazy. Camp Low was going crazy. There's no Jay-Z yet. We're not, Jay-Z does not enter on the scene right yet. He's still slowing down his flow and watching shit, right? But we talking about Boot Camp Click. We talking about Master Ace. Father MC was killing shit. Heavy D was still killing shit. You feel me? Then let's not even talk about the dance hall. Shabba Ranks, Patra, Mad Cobra, all of that. Jeezy comes later on, 05. This is 97, 96. 9-5, motherfucker. 9-5, motherfucker. 9-5 was crazy. We got all of the Wu-Tang dudes. They're going solo. So you're getting Method Man solo, Raekwon solo, Old Dirty Bastard solo on top of the Wu albums. My G, it was crazy. Luciano, Supercat, Capleton, Buju, Beanie, Bounty. You feel me? Then they had the sound sets, because where I'm from, it wasn't even about the artists, it was about the sound sets. I'm from Flatbush. We had At Ease. You know what I mean? We had At Ease, Lionheart, Tony Mataran, and whatnot. They had Bass Odyssey out of Jamaica, Kilimanjaro. You know what I'm talking about? My dude, Earth Juice, right? Spectrum was out of Flatbush. This is Tilden Ballroom. This is Biltmore Ballroom, Caribbean Dome. My dude, some niggas went in there, never made it out. I went in, I done seen some things in them clubs in Flatbush. Yeah, Shinehead was popping. Rakim, he's from before that era. Rakim held down from like 86 to 90 and shit. You feel me? Stone Love, of course. Yeah, Stone Love was the big dogs out of Jamaica. They were like the big commercial sound boy killer. That's where that whole sound boy killers, they were doing sound clashes. That was the most dangerous shit in Brooklyn before they started doing pasa and jumping bitches. You know, pardon me. Poor Righteous Teachers was killing it. Busta Rhymes had just broke off from Leaders of the New School. He went solo. He was killing it. And some of the scariest dudes out of Brooklyn was Smooth and Hustler with Broken English out of Brownsville. It used to, and it was MOP. All of the Brownsville artists was scary. Jay-Z got his come up off of going on tour with Smooth the Hustler. Even Mike Geronimo was kicking it. Yeah, the Beatnuts was kicking it. Master P comes into the game, and he comes into our peripheral in 97, late 97 though, right? Late 97. Remember, I go to Atlanta in 97. So Biggie dies in 97, and I also touched down in Atlanta in 97. And that's like the beginning of the Jay-Z run. That's the beginning of Jay-Z run, volume 2, my niggas. Because 96, when he came out with the album, the first album, Dead Presidents, people don't realize this, but Jay-Z took off when he put out the video, the DVD called Streets is Watching. That's when he took off. He was doing remixes for R&B songs, like the song with the Chris John. He was doing that shit, You Shy, and then he did the shit with Foxy, and that's what really got him popping and whatnot. But Jay-Z just didn't. And of course, he had them songs with Biggie and whatnot. I love the dough and Brooklyn's Finest. So niggas was respecting him. But we talking about the takeover. We're not talking about, because he was nice amongst a bunch of nice niggas. It wasn't like he was the nice out of the crowd. It was so many nice MCs. It was so much music coming out. It was so many quote unquote bars being dropped. He had to take over when he took over the clubs. So those remixes for the women, that's what made Jay-Z pop off, because Mace and Betta took over New York after Biggie died. Who was in New York and remember that? Mace, the same dude that's sitting there with Cameron and whatnot. Yeah, he did the song with Horace Brown, right? Outkast was popping. You know what I mean? Niggas respected Outkast and whatnot. But you know, it wasn't that they the best talk back then. They wasn't. No. They was the best sounding. Andre 3000 was the best out of that whole sound. It was coming out of Rico Wade and the Dungeon Family, but they was not. You know, they had. You got to put in work. But Murder Mace had the streets right after Biggie died. He got passed the baton and Bad Boy and whatnot. He had that shit in a headlock, and that's where. Niggas talking platinum that and platinum this, but they don't got no platinum hits. He was stunting on Hove, and then Hove came out with the Imaginary Player, shut him down, and then niggas packed Mace up, ran him out of New York, and then Jay-Z and DMX kind of was battling for the throne, and then Jay-Z eventually came up. Shine and then Mace. Shine is after Mace. No, it wasn't. It's Shine after. It's Mace, then Shine. Shine catches the case in 99. Shine is 99, 2000 and whatnot. He was popping right around then. Okay. Money Ain't a Thing with Jermaine. Yeah, that's when he went commercial. Money Ain't a Thing with Jermaine is when he went commercial, right? He went commercial with Money Ain't a Thing. Then when he dropped that Annie shit, it was over. Pete Rock and CL Smooth. 98, 99. No. Pete Rock and CL Smooth is way before that. That's Video Music Box days. That's Heavy D days. That's 91, 92. Okay. Gangstar, popping. Goody Mob. Who's that looking through my window? Popping. It was Goody Mob before it was CeeLo Green and Common. It was CeeLo Green and Goody Mob before it was Outkast. Outkast came out a little bit after, and from my recollection, and how the streets was receiving them. You feel me? Because they was more hood. They was more, a lot of New York people related to Goody Mob because they had that Wu-Tang energy. They was just hood. Niggas could feel the hood on them. DJ Clue and Fabulous come after Mace. Because remember, Fabulous was sounding like Mace. Fabulous comes out in like 02, 01 maybe. Fabulous is after 9/11, if I remember it correctly. Because around 9/11, Dipset, the hottest nigga in New York was Jules Santana. For the young niggas, Jules Santana was the hottest in New York for a minute. You feel me? Cam brought him out. He was the hottest. You know what I mean? But DJ Clue and Fabulous, that run was crazy. That mixtape run, that shit, he was really killing them. Yeah, Black Ice. If you don't like where I stay, fly away. I used to love her. Common, right? Common bodied Ice Cube with no Vaseline and all of that. He went up against Ice Cube, smacked him up. And that's how he got his, niggas started respecting him after that. Grand Poobah and Brand Nubian is super underrated. Grand Poobah had hip hop in a headlock. This is right around before Biggie Pop. I'm talking 91, 92. Grand Poobah was that dude. Who remembers when Grand Poobah was Himothy? Big L was that dude as well. Big L was definitely killing shit. Big L was 96, but then he got bodied. When did he get bodied? In 99. He was definitely stamped. He was because he had the Harlem flow. His Harlem flow was nothing like Mace's Harlem flow. He had the Herb McGruff. He was more of a lyrical Lord Finesse. Herb McGruff, you felt the influence of the lyricists digging in the crates and all of that. That was what Big L represented. Mace and Children of the Corn, Mace, who put on Cameron, they represented more of a they had a blended flow. They had more of a blended flow. Henceforth, why when Biggie heard Cameron, he brought him to Undias to get him signed because he was like, this nigga don't sound like no Harlem dude. He's different. They were influenced, I believe, from like the Jadakiss, the Locks flow. Because when Jadakiss and them came, nobody had that flow. The Jadakiss flow, the Locks mixtape, when nobody knew what they looked like. The early Clue mixtapes, when they brought the Locks on, and they was the Warlocks, bro. Yeah, the Children of the Corn freestyles was crazy. Niggas was demonic, you know? Yeah, Mike Geronimo had a lot of buzz. He was killing shit. You feel me? Jay-Z came up under him as well. Yeah, the Cam O flow was retarded. This is pre-Dipset. The Dipset shit was a watered down. Cameron with Children of the Corn, with Murder, Mace, and Bloodshed. That's the nigga who had Harlem in a headlock. You know what I mean? All of that rickety dick and all of that stuff that came later. That was Cameron with the irritable bowel syndrome. He was, you know, he wasn't feeling good. He had to heal. But the Locks, the way that they was writing them bars and structuring they shit, and then we gonna make it and all of that, bro. They had it in that. That's what I'm saying. That was Bad Boy. That was the Locks. That was Mace. That whole Uptown sound. And then Cameron dropped. Uptown had that shit for a minute, bro. Uptown had it. We talking 97, 98. Yeah, they had that shit. And then DMX come out with the grimy shit. Yeah, they had that. That was all Uptown. That was a Mark 125th and all of that. That was 125 and that was Grant's Tomb and shit like that. That was the later days of the Tunnel. Yeah, Redman is 92. Redman had it in a lock. And then Redman got with Method Man and they went commercial and whatnot. But early Redman albums, What the Album and all of that, classic, my nigga. His flow was undeniable. He was the funny flow. He brings Das Effect. That's the whole shit with Eric Sermon, EPMD. So EPMD brings out Redman. EPMD. Remember, everybody brought somebody out. Nobody just came out of nowhere. Everybody had to get put on. $500,000, that's my guy right there. $500,000 was my guy in real life. He, you know, some niggas thugs, and he's out of Albany Projects. We used to sell him clothes when we came back from the Meow and whatnot, because the dudes, Sport Low and all of my peoples was out of Albany, and $500,000 was getting money in Albany, and then he started rapping. And they said that he unalived himself, but I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That Confessions album, that Confessions album was crazy. Fab is still going on the run. Yes, he is. DMX versus Cannabis. Man. Superman lover. Scarface. So Scarface goes solo off the Ghetto Boys. Scarface is killing shit right around that time when the West Coast is killing shit. Scarface is a certified, bona fide super legend. More legend to me than UGK and other people coming out of Texas. That's just me, right? That's just how it hit me. He was more of a solid artist than any Texas artist that I ever heard. That's just me. I was scared of Scarface. I believed everything that he said. You know what I'm talking about? When he first came out, that nigga was giving me chills. He was really scary to me. Big Pun, killing shit. Did 50 Cent kill hip hop, New York hip hop? Kind of in a sort of way. Kind of in a sort of way. Big Mike, LL Cool J. Oh man, LL Cool J, that's 80s. That LL Cool J was him. LL Cool J was that guy. I heard LL Cool J smack Jay-Z back in the days. LL Cool J was the ladies' favorite. He was one of the first ladies' men, and he had bars, and he will battle you. And this nigga was flexing on dudes, taking his shirt off and whatnot. So LL Cool J was him, but he went super commercial. But nobody was mad at that. You know what I mean? That was his natural progression. 8 Ball and MJG, to me, the illest niggas out of Memphis, Tennessee. Facts. I'm not gonna say that they ill it in every single, but yeah, they got bars, the flow, the way that they worked off of each other, and they had it in a headlock as well. We was knowing about Memphis through them. You know what I mean? Not to take anything away from 666 and whatnot, but once again, bars. They were barbarians. They were barbarians. Redman saved Def Jam, like Wesley Snipes saved Marvel. Fun fact for anybody who didn't ever know that story, it came out of the mouth of the liar himself, Cohen. Liar Cohen said, if he said it, because he be lying. He said when they asked him what about Dame Dash, he was like, who is Dame Dash? If he could say that with a straight face, he lie about everything. He said that Redman's album saved Def Jam, and they was ready to pack it up. This was the first time they got saved. And then when they was ready to pack it up again, guess who else saved Def Jam, right? DMX. They was ready to give up because the Bad Boy run was so crazy, right? The Bad Boy run was taking all of the air out of the room. The Bad Boy run was so crazy that homie was ready to fold up Def Jam. Nobody was they wasn't even buying the Def Jam shit no more. This, like I said, this is before he signs the deal with Rockefeller and they start feeding off of Rockefeller. They were kind of caught in the middle of that old school rap and this new shit that was coming out. Bad Boy was the sound, the new sound. Bad Boy took the new sound, they had the new look and everything. And Son was ready to roll it up. He was ready to fold it up. And then he said he saw a video. He said he seen a video that they put out, and the shit he was like, yo, it's all colorful. He must have been looking at the silver, the shiny suit shit. You know what I mean? He saw the shiny suit. He said, I think he saw the locks in a shiny suit. He said he put them niggas in a shiny suit. And he was like, nah. He said, you know what? I'm gonna do it he said he threw DMX in black and white and threw the dog on that bitch, and it was over. He said, yeah, Def Jam, he said Bad Boy sells aspirational rap, because that's what they were selling, aspirational rap. They were making broke niggas want to get rich. And Def Jams was giving you reality rap. So DMX was the person who would rob the drug dealers. He was the robber. He was the shooter. He was the grimy one. So Liar Cohen's hate for the prosperity that black people were tapping into by following the Bad Boy blueprint made him contract with DMX so he could unleash Damien and he could unleash the robbers and the shooters and the killers and the stick-up kid energy. That's what happened. He said it himself. He was against aspirational rap. So he came out with the nigga in the bathtub covered in blood, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. He made DMX put 2 albums out in 1 year. Okay. Biggie was a robber and Puffy cleaned him up and turned him into a playboy and a fake Willie. You know what I'm talking about? That's what he did. He took him out of them hoodies, them champion hoodies. Biggie had the Timbs that were leaning and whatnot. Put him in some chancletas, some hard bottoms, you know? And the rest is history. Put him in some 5X Versace, and the rest is history. Oh, MF Doom. man, MF Doom was killing shit on the underground forever. Certified, bona fide legend. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, and they made Murder Mace. They turned Murder Mace into Mason Betha. They turned Mace into a pretty boy, and he was Murder Mace. You know what I mean? So when he came through Bad Boy, they neutralized him. They neutered him. They tried to neuter the Locks. They was trying to make the Locks make girl songs and whatnot. And that's when they broke off and they ran the Rough Riders so they could be street, right? That's why they say industry and in the streets. Yeah, Metal Face Doom was a problem. Yeah, so he had Mace, he had Loon, he had Black Rob, he had G Dep, and he had the Locks. All of them was getting their eyebrows shaped up if Diddy had anything to do with that. So what did that do? It was giving street niggas the permission to be zesty. They called it metrosexual. You know what I'm talking about? Real talk. Mace saved Bad Boy too. He definitely saved Bad Boy because after they took Big, nobody knew what the hell was gonna happen with Bad Boy. Puffy wasn't rap. They didn't accept Puffy as a rapper back then. Niggas wasn't waiting for a P Diddy album. You feel me? So he had to feed off of Mace for a while, run up them publishing checks. You know what I mean? And they was able to keep it moving. Yeah, they cloned Mace. They cloned him a few times, you know. Remember the Free the Locks campaign? Tupac said he gave Biggie his player swag. I mean, shit, where did it had to come from somewhere? It wasn't in him. You know what I'm talking about? The pin game and everything was great. He just didn't have the look. So yes, I mean, you know, a survey says that Pac definitely had that look before Big had that look. He definitely had that look with the button down Versace, the silk shirts, you know what I'm saying, with the gold and all of that. Yeah, he was on his shit. Sporty Thieves was killing shit too. Sporty Thieves was killing shit too. Those were the boosters that started rapping and whatnot. That was the first time we saw that. They were from Harlem and whatnot. I Was Murder. P. Diddy made me pretty. I did it for the money. Now can you get with me? You know what I mean? He flipped them. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the first flips and whatnot. But he flipped Christopher Wallace. It's just Biggie didn't rap it out, but he definitely flipped them and turned them into, you know, a big pretty boy. However pretty that Biggie could get, that nigga pushed him to that line and whatnot. Yeah, after Mace, he tried Sean, but Sean just wound up popping off. You know what I mean? Before he could make Sean a pretty boy, Sean, you know, he bust his ratchet and whatnot, and you know, he was forever stuck with that type of what we would call. He was forever stuck with that image of being a shooter. You know what I mean? You said Puffy ushered in the fuckboy era. We could do a panel on that. Lil Wayne had a good run. Yeah, so I remember seeing Lil Wayne heat up around 03 with the Squad Up mixtapes. I was living in Miami, and my I don't call them YNs, but my young nobles and whatnot. They put me on. They was like, oh nah, because they brought up Lil Wayne, and we in the car. I'm like, what y'all listening to? They was like, yo, this Lil Wayne shit. I'm like, Lil Wayne? The fuck? What you talking about, Lil Wayne? You mean Lil Wayne, shorty from the boat, Cash Money shit? They was like, yeah, and they threw in the Squad Up mixtape. We was smoking some Crippy. Man, I was bought and sold after that. He was copying the Biggie. He was copying the Jay-Z flow. That was his earlier days of picking up the J flow. Did y'all mention Farside yet? Oh, Farside is 90, 91. They definitely had that sound. She Keeps On Passing Me By. You got Souls of Mischief. You got Farside. You have the Hieroglyphics. That whole entire era was goated. Please, that whole entire era was goated. You know what I'm talking about? You know, that was Becky soundtracks. That's what I call them. Niggas was making Becky soundtracks. Yeah, shout out to Casual. He's still killing shit. Pro Era. Yeah, 2012. That's the pro era, Beast Coast era. You feel me? Carmega was a problem. Carmega was a problem. Carmega had street credibility. You feel me? Carmega was a real street dude. So was Lakey the Kid and whatnot. Those was Queenbridge dudes. Yeah, DJ Quick. Yup, DJ Quick was killing shit. Yeah. Pac blew up after Juice. For anybody that don't know, Pac was being listened to before Juice. But he damn sure became a household. He wasn't a household name. He wasn't a household name. Juice made him a household name and made him a star, and he never turned that character off. He never turned off Bishop. He was somewhat of Bishop before that with Tupacalypse Now album and all of that. But if you go and watch Brenda Got a Baby, right? That's the Pac, the word. That's the Still Trapped, the video Trap when he's in a jail cell, and then Brenda Got a Baby. That's the early Pac. That's pre-Juice. Post-Juice is I Get Around. That's post-Juice. You know? That's post-Juice. And that was a era right there. You know what I'm saying? And Pac was the one. Pac was always getting in trouble. He was the F up. You know how they say some, you know what I mean? He was the one that everybody be like, yo, you throwing your whole shit away. Cause he got in trouble more than any artist back in those days. It's artists that get in trouble a lot these days, but Pac was taking the cake. He was the nigga getting locked up the most. He was the one with the most cases. He was the one with all of the controversy dealing with him and the law more than anybody. Spice One was a problem, and it was a lot of other people that was considered to be outside, but they wasn't running into um issues like you would have dudes getting locked up and getting cased up here and there. This nigga was pulling this shit off every 6 months. Yeah, that Spice One and that Pac song is goated, straight like that. Boot Camp Click, everything that they put out was goated. Boot Camp Click had New York in a super headlock. Buckshot was a fucking problem. Evil D was a problem. Ruck and Rock was a problem. Smith and Wesson, oh my goodness, problem. These is all problems back in the this is 90-91 type shit. Them niggas was stepping very hard in Brooklyn. Okay, Boot Camp Click. Lord Finesse, problem. Uptown, mixtape era, problem. We talking about Ron G. We talking about Ron G mixtapes. Who was all of these Uptown mixtapes? SNS mixtapes. Ron G. You know what I'm talking about? Bodying them things. I just was with Immortal Technique, y'all. You bring him up. I just was Immortal Technique on Thursdays. Listen, I remember hearing Immortal Technique in 2004. Blue Pill brought me to a show. I seen him live in 2004, and I was like, this nigga is too militant for me. It was too much. I wasn't fully I still had the nigga chip. You know what I'm talking about? He helped to short circuit that chip. I listened to Immortal Technique for like nonstop. 04. That shit broke the nigga gene out of me, bro. It helped me. It really did. Because when I listened to it again, I understood everything. That's like the first time I heard Nature of the Threat. I was like, what is this man talking about? Roscos, Nature of the Threat, 8 minutes is it was like a lecture. And I was considered to be hardcore. I was listening to 8-hour lectures. I was exposed to remember, you got conspiracy theory and then you got conscious. Do y'all know that there's a difference between conspiracy theory and conscious? I started with conspiracy theory and I graduated into conscious, right? But I was watching conspiracy theories and I was watching earlier conscious shit, and I heard Nature of the Threat. I was in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta. It was like 98, 99. I was at this girl's house that used to be a graphic designer and whatnot, and she was helping teach me how to use Photoshop and do graphics and whatnot. So she had an apartment that connected to another apartment. They had a whole team and everybody. So we was smoking some Reggie and whatnot, and we was just chilling and whatnot, like, just smoking Reggie, I think rolling up roaches and shit, just going through it. You know what I mean? And they was playing music and shit like that. I'm thinking that I'm putting them on to some shit. They threw the Roscos on. I didn't know about Roscos back then. I heard his name, but I never heard Nature of the Threat. Bro, I must have rolled on that rug like 10 times playing that shit back to back. I was like, yo, this dude is spitting. Did you hear what he just said? You feel me? Oh, yeah. That Absol. That was the control theory. I was telling everybody about that. Yeah, J. Rue the Damager was that. He was killing shit. Raekwon with the purple tape. Raekwon the chef and Ghostface killing shit. Exhibit was killing shit too. I ain't gonna hold you. Early Exhibit before he started doing Pimp My Ride. Yeah. Yeah. J. Rue was that dude. J. Rue was the first nigga that came after Puff and all of them. He was dashing. Oh my goodness. Now I done told y'all the AZ story. AZ was definitely a legend. We talking 91, 92, 93. That life's a bitch and then you die. The Jizza with the liquid swords. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Talk about lyrics. Oh my goodness. When that shit dropped, you had to be that was like a chef's kiss for lyricists. Like you literally had to have you know what I mean? That the Jizza album was like a college course. You're gonna learn something listening to that. Yeah, Roscoe's sons, Coach Contra, yeah, them young gods. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nobody is seeing Kambada. Hieroglyphics definitely fire. Alcoholics fire. Little Brother Fonte and them fire. Killer Priest. Oh my goodness. I remember Killer Priest. I met Killer Priest. That's my guy. I remember listening to Killer Priest before I ever met him. And I was blown away by the shit that he was dropping. I was completely blown away. You know what I'm saying? 40 days and 40 nights. It takes a nation of millions. Yeah. Killer Priest still going crazy. Yeah. I dated AZ sister. Shout out to Precious. That was my boo thing in high school and whatnot. That was my boo boo. You know? He could have been, he could have been you know what I'm saying? If everything worked out. You know? But yeah, he was definitely him. I'm not gonna hold you. He was from East New York. He was with the gangsters. You know what I'm talking about? He was with the gangsters. Cool G Rap. Whoo. Man, Cool G Rap was a problem. That's the late 80s. Cool G Rap was him. It was Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, and Rakim. Those were the big three of New York in the 80s, in the late 80s when it came to this shit. Those were the big three. All right, let's get to it. Oh, of course, Planet Asia. Another one similar to Killer Priest and whatnot. Man, Planet Asia. I listened to Planet Asia before I met Planet Asia. Planet Asia is a problem out of Fresno. You know what I mean? Planet Asia always, always, always killing shit. The Bush Babies. Yes. I gotta talk about Kanye discography. Yeah. '03, when he dropped with the Through the Fire and everything, super classic. He changed the course of hip hop. He changed the sound and whatnot. Like we gotta, I give him his props. He beat 50 Cent in that 9/11 album battle. And then after he beat 50 Cent, he changed the course and brought all of the all of the misfits or all of the blurs in. You know what I mean? He stamped all the blurred niggas and helped them to get some cheeks. You know what I mean? And raise their stocks. Helter Skelter. Fire. Helter Skelter was down with when I was giving you the rundown boot camp clip with Buckshot and Evil D and all of them. Helter Skelter was a part of that crew. Lyricist Problems. Kwame with the polka dots, 80s Problems. Who had the better verse on the symphony? Man, I'm Brooklyn, so I'm biased. I would say Big Daddy Kane, but a lot of people say that it was G Rap. G Rap gave birth to Superhead, right? Oh man. Okay, so yeah, it's KRS One was definitely right there. Just Ice, legend. You know what I mean? Some people would say that KRS One was part of the big three, and they would be absolutely correct. I would not be able. Chip Fu Schnickens, Chip Fu, crazy, crazy. Yeah, man. Like I don't know if people sleep on Rakim. They don't. I don't think they understand the grip that Rakim had on hip hop and how he changed the flow and how Rakim was really that dude. You know what I mean? Like nobody was fucking with Rakim. Big Daddy Kane was the commercial one. So Big Daddy Kane was Jay-Z and Rakim was Nas. That's how it was back then. Big Daddy Kane was Jay-Z all the way. Ooh, that Tracy Lee and Biggie song. Crazy. Master Ace. Crazy. Yeah, Master Ace. He killed, all of them killed the symphony. Let's be clear. All of them killed the symphony. Early Nori is a goat, is goated. Whatever happened to that flow? If he would only get that back, my goodness. CNN Nori? What? War Report Nori? Huh? What? When he was sounding like when he was with Tragedy, Gaddafi? What? Oh my goodness. Nobody could fuck with them boys. Nobody, like that whole Queens early, early mob, early mob, and early CNN. When I say they had niggas under pressure, bro, I didn't skip over LL. I gave him his props. DOC was definitely that dude. He was really him. Then he lost his voice. He was really him. Tragedy Gaddafi was really him too. He gets slept on and they don't mention his name again. He was him. Yeah, Tracy Lee was hanging with Biggie on that song, boy. Do I remember Guest Jeans? Hell yeah. The George Marcianos. I was killing it with the pencil pocket and all of that, man. Shit. The Lost Boys. How could I forget? Freaky Ty, Mr. Cheeks. Oh man, the Lost Boys had Queens in New York in a headlock. Yeah, them first two Nori albums is Nori had when he went solo, Nori had that shit in a headlock. 97, I remember the year. 97, Cambada, goated. I'm surprised people don't even know who Cam is, man. That's crazy, right? To me. Method Man was a problem as a solo artist. Method Man was a super duper problem. He don't even get mentioned enough. When him and Redman joined forces, it got a little watered down. Let's just keep it a buck, right? It got that we talking about Redman, we talking about Method Man with half of the braids, with the rest afro, with the tissue in his nose. That Method Man. To cow. Cambada, my number one artist. There you go. I would probably say that he's my number one artist as well after me. I would definitely say that. I told him that to his face. You know, Ghostface. Yeah, Ghostface. Man, niggas didn't even they didn't even know what they couldn't understand Ghostface for years. That's how far ahead he was with some of his shit. Yeah, Rakim has always been Rakim is the standard, y'all. Rakim is the balance. Rakim is the foundation. I'm sure that you'll hear that they're gonna give him his props when he leaves and whatnot. But Rakim is the foundation to the game right now. He is. I promise you. Red, who has 3 classics in hip hop? Oh, Channel Live. Woo. There's a few people with 3 classics. Not a lot though. Pac definitely is all eyes on me. Machiavelli, right? And quote unquote, All Eyes on Me, Machiavelli, and the other one. What was the other one? I'm forgetting it, but those were the three. Um Biggie, I will put him on Junior Mafia album. I would say Life After Death and Ready to Die. Me Against the World. There you go. Me Against the World. Feel me? Yes, De La has 3. Mobb Deep has 3. Nas has 3. You feel me? The 3-pack you talking about, right? The 3-pack Shakur, right? Not the 2-pack Shakur, the 3-pack Shakur. Kendrick, Butterfly, Mad City, and GNX. Outkast have 3. Aquemini, Southern Player Catalytic, yeah, Aquemini. What's the other one? Damn, what's the other one name? But yeah, they got 3. Kanye got 3. 50. You said 50 got 3. Name them. Oh, Rock Marcy is a problem. Oh my goodness. Rock Marcy is he's a surgeon. He's a surgeon. Okay, AT Aliens. There you go. There you go. AT Aliens. Okay. Stankonia. Iron Man, Supreme Clientele, Fish Scale, Ghostface. Snoop got 3. Damn, does he? I mean, Doggy Style. You got to give me the other 2, and I just might be missing something. Jay-Z definitely got 3. Reasonable Doubt, In My Lifetime 1, and 444. Let's go. DMX definitely got 3. Flesh in My Flesh, Hell is Hot, and the other one. What's the other one? What's the other one? Hold on. Pusha T got 3. Damn, y'all really going for it now, huh? Yeah. His first 3 is he went back to back to back. I ain't even gonna hold you. He went DMX went back to back to back. I brought Pete Rock and CL Smooth up. They was fire. They was attached to Heavy D and the Boys and all of them. That whole Mount Vernon sound. Okay, so I don't know about the movie soundtrack, Get Rich or Die Trying movie soundtrack. I can't say that was a classic. It was alright, but you really think that that's a classic? From 50, I know that he had Get Rich or Die Trying, The Massacre. That was the one that he went up against Ye with. 50 got the mixtapes though. He got about 20 mixtapes that was classics. Shout out to Bahamadia. Shout out to Rod Digger. Shout out to the Lady of Rage. Shout out to Moni Love. Shout out to Queen Mother Effing Latifah, my genius. Shout out to Miss Melody, Rising Power. Like the ladies was giving back in the days. They was serving. You feel me? They was serving. You feel like for real, for real. Moni Love, she tell me to do anything when I was young. She could tell me, jump through the TV. I'm coming. Like I'm you know what I mean? Eve. Shout out to Eve. Come back home, Eve. Lauryn Hill. Man, Lauryn Hill was a problem. She grew up. You know? She had bars when she first came out, but they wasn't checking her like that. They wasn't looking for, you know what I mean? She was the cute girl in the in the crew. But then she started stepping her shit up, and then she dropped the solo. It was over. Yes, MC Light, how can I forget? Sam, I cram to understand. Georgie Porgy. Like, MC Light had niggas' hearts. You know what I'm talking about? We thought, you know what I mean? Erica Badu casted a spell. She's casted a spell. She had a lot of men under her spell. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You know, Camp Low. Yeah, Jay-Z ran with the flow. Imagine if Camp Low was able to put out more music. You know, Havoc will rock Pete Rock under the table. Were they supposed to have a battle or something? The Brat. Oh my goodness. Yo, the Brat and Biggie. There you go. Next to You Can't Stop the Rain in the Tracy Lee song, that song with the Brat might be one of my biggest, because there's Biggie solo songs, there's Biggie mixtape songs, and then there's Biggie with other people. Those are the three categories of BIG. The Biggie shit from his album, solo Biggie. Then there's Biggie mixtape Biggie from Clue and everything. Way different than the Biggie. Then there's Biggie on remixes with other artists like him and Jay-Z, Brooklyn's Finest, I Love the Dough, You Can't Stop the Rain with Shaq, the Tracy Lee song, and then that shit he did with the Brat. That was a problem. Oh my goodness, Dog Pound. How can I forget? Roxanne Shante, how can I forget? Roxanne Shante, y'all. When I don't think I could explain the issue. I don't know if I can explain how we rated Roxanne Shante in 91. It's like I was in Jackie Robinson 320 high school back in the days, and right there in Ebbets Field where Jackie Robinson, where they had the Brooklyn Stadium. I used to go to Jackie Robinson. We had a Muslim principal. A woman Muslim principal. She used to chase us through the hall. She was no joke. She was militant. I remember going to that school and listening to the whole Roxanne Shante because she started beefing with UTFO, and one of them niggas was Haitian. And when I was going to school, if anybody from Haiti was popping, the whole Haiti was that they were that person. You know what I mean? You know, they was living vicariously through that nigga in UTFO. And they came out with Roxanne Shante, and then they came out with a chick named the Real Roxanne. She was like Spanish and whatnot. She was I guess she was the baddies of those. She was like a baddie of that day. And Roxanne Shante chewed her ass up and then went after UTFO. But she was the epitome. She was the archetype for the roundaway girl that got busy and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? She slicked that hair back, take them earrings off, my nigga, forehead shining, and start getting busy. Okay. I forgot about Beanie Siegel. How rude of me. Beanie Siegel, y'all. Nobody gives Beanie Siegel his credit. There was a time where they were saying Beanie Siegel was better than Jay-Z. There was a time when Beanie Siegel, who was signed to The Rock, was on Jay-Z's tail in terms of everybody. Like, they were scared of Beanie Siegel. Everybody remember. They were they believed what he was saying. You know? Has anyone had a bigger wave than Beyonce for the women? Yeah, that's an interesting question, but I don't know about that. As for the women artists, like Whitney Houston had a run, but it wasn't like the Beyonce run. You know what I mean? Just being honest with y'all. The movie soundtracks were goated back in those days. That the movie soundtracks, that's when movies were movies, y'all. The movie soundtracks. We're gonna have to do a whole show on the movie soundtracks. I Could Feel Your Pain, nigga. The Above the Rim soundtrack, Death Row, I think, produced that. I Could Feel Your Pain. The Pain song. Oh my goodness. Above the Rim, Pac. The New Jack City soundtrack. Oh my goodness. Nigga, the soundtracks. The Belly soundtrack. The soundtracks. Oh, would you say that Mary J? See, Mary J don't have a beehive. She just got a bunch of aunties that will clap for her. You know what I'm talking about? She got a bunch of aunties that'll pull a 380 out of the Louis purse and add something out for her. You dig? But she don't have the beehive. Aaliyah definitely. If they didn't ritualize Aaliyah, she was the Beyonce. There couldn't be a Beyonce with Aaliyah still popping. Janet had a crazy run until her titty popped out. You know what I'm talking about? And then she laid up with Jermaine Dupri. Yeah. Wiped the whole you know what I mean? If that was a stock, then it crashed that day. I'm just saying, you know? But she was definitely, even when she got burnt as Penny on Good Times, niggas loved them some Janet Jackson. I promise you. She was definitely Penny? Baby Janet? Oh my goodness. Baby Janet. Then she came out with Control, Rhythm Nation, Janet with the Lululemon on. You mean with the headpiece, with the shit, the mic? You don't gotta hold the mic. You got the headpiece right there. Oh my goodness, you couldn't tell us nothing. Rhythm Nation, Janet. Oh yeah, how many niggas was married to Janet Jackson? You know what I'm talking about? How many niggas was married to Janet Jackson? You know, that was wifey all day. They said she was out there creeping around with the DeBarge niggas. We forgave her. We forgave her. But her the way that she was picking the dudes, man, it just didn't. It was the math wasn't mathing. She was supposed to be with a Kang, my niggas. The math wasn't mathing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, she was supposed to be with young Pockington. There wasn't nothing. There wasn't no other option. Like you try to pull up with nigga, you supposed to be with young Pac. Like, you know what I mean? She carried my dude kind of crazy after the Poetic Justice movie when it got an AIDS test because she was kissing my nigga because he was kissing Madonna. You didn't right? She was acting funny. That nigga was rolling. He was with graveyard pussy. Madonna. Nobody gonna lay with you after you laid up with Madonna. You know what I'm talking about? Not after Madonna. That wasn't a flex. You know? So let's talk about this. Now that we talking about women with foreheads and everything, what the fuck happened with Rihanna? Because if a broad would have pulled up to Taylor Swift's house, you know what I'm talking about? If somebody that pulled up to Taylor Swift's house and aired it out, we would have been hearing about that all over the media. They would have stopped the war. Breaking news. Chill, BB, chill. Ayatollah, slow down. They trying to shoot at they clapping at goddamn Taylor Swift. You have some chick clapping at Rihanna and nobody even making nothing about it. So let's go down this rabbit hole, man. We got to address mental health. You know what I'm talking about? This right here is the prototype. You know what I mean? This right here is the prototype. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? When being woke goes wrong. This chick is a Bible thumper. It's time to go ahead and do a little dissecting, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna somebody is trying to send Riri a lesson. Yeah. They said Jay-Z sent her. They said Desiree sent this chick. But let's go and check this chick with the mental issues and whatnot. Because I know a bunch of people like this.
See how the rich white folks told the poor white.
Not you, sis. We're gonna pull you up, huh? Ladies, this is this show right here is a special for Women's Month. There's a lot of women's on this thing.
Ain't nobody pressed. Ivana's not pressed. Is Cardi B pressed? Shardy B? Yeah. Yeah, I was just in San Francisco last week. Actually, this week. No one wanted me to go to what Cardi B had going on. I wonder why. Ooh, I wonder why. I wonder why.
So to give y'all some context, that's what the hell you looking at in right here. This chick right here with the weird face and whatnot, she pulled up to Rihanna's house and bust off 10 shots yesterday, or what was that? Sunday. She bust off, she emptied a clip at Rihanna. This is a billionaire, ladies and gentlemen. This is a billionaire. This is a billionaire. You know what I'm talking about? This is a billionaire. So we don't know what the backstory is, because there has to be a backstory. I ain't over here sipping the tea and whatnot. I'm just showing that a woman who has a catalog and makes music, that women, you know, this is a mother of three. Okay. This is a mother of three. Okay. And she got people outside her house clapping it up and whatnot. Be very mindful. Let's go and listen to a little more.
They still know it's me. I'm what you can't stand to see. I'm everything you want to be. Jealousy, jealousy. They still know it's me. I'm everything you want to be. I'm what you want to see. Jealousy, jealousy.
Little Lululemon. What we looking at? Little Lululemon.
Donna wants to say that we are flying. That we are flying and we're not. The way that Rihanna wants to kill me, she's the one who wants to kill me. The way that Rihanna wants to kill me shows that we're not going to show this right now. Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me. Shut the up, okay? Shut the up. Yeah, she's a witch. She's a witch. I'm a watchman. She's a witch. Get that stupid girl out of here. There are many in this realm, and you are rebuked, and Jesus is the king, and you're just kicking and screaming on your way. There are many in this realm, and you are rebuked, and Jesus is the king, and you're just... Get that stupid girl out of here. There are many in this realm, and you are rebuked, and Jesus is the king, and you're just kicking and screaming on your way out and perishing.
Nah, I'm not gonna generalize things, because you know that would be facetious of me. But I've talked about the Bible thumper trend, right? I've talked about the Bible thumper trend on this show before, and I'm like, man, this needs to be examined and whatnot. So many people are going back to church talking about Jesus is king. And once again, I don't trample on anybody's decisions to go religious in 2026, the year of the apocalypse. I do not. That is not my place to tell anybody, and I don't even clown and whatnot. I'm not gonna clown no grown people for the decisions that they make and whatnot to go back to the church in 2026. However, there's a level of Lululemon delusional that I'm beginning to see with a lot of the people that are running back to the church with mental issues because of shit that's going on. Remember, the streets are breaking people. These dark streets are breaking people. You want to talk about MK Ultra, nigga? MK Ultra's in the strip club. MK Ultra's at the sports bar. MK Ultra is outside. You understand? People are being turned crazy from the shit that they're going through or being put through or experiencing. And then they're being turned out. And then social media don't make anything any better, because now everybody has a stage. So there goes all of the Bible passages, right? Jesus is the Lord. This is a praying woman, ladies and gentlemen. This is a praying. This is Jesus. This is a, you know what I mean? And she's sitting there on the internet, right? Probably watching every single video on her timeline, believing probably every single thing that these videos are telling her, reading her Bible, and putting herself above Rihanna. Her name is Ivana Ortiz, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Ortiz, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Ortiz. Okay? Let's see what she got to say.
You can't fuck with me, Cardi B. You're supposedly busy right now. But you know who has the cutest outfit tonight? You know who's the cutest tonight? I am.
How many people know people like this? I ain't trying to snitch on nobody. I ain't trying to get nobody taken in no straitjacket. But how many of y'all following people like this on internet? Just curious. How many people on y'all following like this on the internet? Is this an isolated incident? Or is this some shit that's going on
I'm the cutest
in a lot of
tonight.
different places?
You ain't doing nothing to me. You ain't messing with me. You ain't messing with me.
Or could it be, look at what she wearing. She's going to a Beyonce concert. Or could it be that this woman who may be a little bit of susceptible, is this one of the women that they use in some of their rituals? Is this a person that's being used in some of these quote unquote industry rituals? And they done pushed her to the edge. Now she's having some mental issues. All right. Let's clean her up. Okay. Let's clean her up. Let's get some words from our sisters, man. After we done went through that, let's go.
America today. They don't care, and they never have cared. And I want to know, what have these people been doing for all of these years when Black people have been out there on the front line trying to make change? Like,
hold on. Somebody said it's in the conscious community too. Let's talk about it. Man, Julian RB. Let's talk about it. Let's go. I'm ready to have that convo. we could key and chop it up. This sister said, I've lost respect for white America today. They've never cared about Black suffering. So how many of y'all in the audience, right? We named the series Mayonnaise Meltdown. Mayonnaise Meltdown. And the Mayonnaise Meltdown series was to highlight what the white folks was saying during the Epstein run. And we warned you that this shit is not going to last too long. We said, let's go ahead and document the Mayonnaise Meltdown, because it's only going to take one thing to happen for them to completely forget about the fact that they were melting down. So let's document that shit. Let's capture it in time so we could play it back to them a year from now, because many of us that remember 2020, they was melting down back then, and then they asses switched up. So all of a sudden a war happened, or an attack happened, or provocation happened. And then what happened to those white people that were mad at the Epstein thing? Where did they go? What happened to all of those conversations about them saying, yo, we're going to stay on these people's head tops and whatnot? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to, yo, we're going to make sure that we get some justice for these girls and whatnot. We're not going to let down and whatnot. We're going to stay on their ass, and whatever happened to that? Right? None of that is a priority anymore. Okay? None of that is a priority. Them people done moved on. Not only did they move on, what did they wind up doing? Oh, they wind up going full MAGA on niggas, or they wind up going full colonizer on niggas, or they winded up going full quote unquote Roman on your ass, because they immediately switched into, oh nah, we gotta blow up them people in Iran. They went strictly into war mode. They went strictly into G.I. Joe mode and whatnot. That's what happened. You feel me? Look at this. The drop in the Epstein files. This is over the cert. This is for your facts right here. You understand? That's the facts. So whatever the cause was, it's mission accomplished. It doesn't matter what happens during the Epstein war. It doesn't matter what happens during this Epstein quote unquote war that we're witnessing. The fact that they intended to drop the searches, they wanted to shift the attention. They wanted to take all of these quote unquote, they wanted to stop the mayonnaise meltdown. They wanted to do what? They wanted to treat the wound, right? And that is exactly what they did. But what's the danger of them doing? When you see that drop right there, what does that drop represent on that graph, ladies and gentlemen? That drop represents the normalization of what just took place, what everybody was exposed to. That drop represented everybody acquiescing and normalizing it and making it a part of their everyday quote unquote reality. That is the graph that shows you that the show still goes on. For those of us that have been talking about this for years upon years and preparing people for it, all we were doing was we were observing this. We light years ahead about some of the things that we're talking about that people will find out years from now. So we're just doubling back and paying attention as to how do the people react when they're exposed to this, because we were exposed to this many moons ago. We just want to know, how are the people going to react? What is this going to do for the people that are being red pilled and whatnot? So we see right there exactly what happened. They now have acquiesced to everything because nothing will happen, nothing will be done, and more trauma, more psyops, and more propaganda will get quote unquote placed in front of them. And before you know it, they'll be numb to that as well. Okay. So I just wanted to throw that out there, but let's go back to the sister. I don't want to cut her off. She got something to say.
A lot of respect for white America today. They don't care, and they never have cared. And I want to know, what have these people been doing for all of these years when black people have been out there on the front line trying to make change? Like, they don't care and don't give a damn about an equitable, free country for all. All they cared about was their own comfort so that they could sit up on the damn porch drinking mint juleps while you out there toiling. Joy DeGruy said that the way that they worked the African, that their bodies would only last for 7 years.
Muscle actually detached itself from the bone as a result of exertion and not injury.
And that in the grave, when they dug up the bodies, because they turned so many burial grounds into prime property and real estate, when they dug the bodies and the archaeologists answered, when they looked at the bodies, the muscles were torn from the bones, the cartilage disjointed. They worked so hard that their limbs came undone. And you were all right with that as long as you could have on your big damn pretty frock, going to your cotillions and drinking mint julep on the backs of black people. And even to this motherfucking day, you will talk about how we don't deserve reparations and we built this country. We built this bitch. And it is all right for you to have the upper hand and the upper leg as long as there's somebody underneath you for you to throw your fucking heels up onto. Nah.
This day. To this day.
I feel her on
to
that.
this day.
You know what I'm talking about? I feel her on that. Like, that's some real shit that she talking right there. Sis, I feel you on that. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Let's go to this next sister.
Seeing a new thing in the earth where white people are believing that their culture is being erased. And when you ask them what white culture is being erased, they can't even tell you. They can't tell you what white culture is being erased because what white culture really is just control. Controlling what history gets taught, what beauty looks like, what success looks like, whose voices gets heard and whose voices gets ignored. But now something different is happening. The world ain't just accepting one version of the story anymore. People push back when history gets oversimplified. People question stereotypes instead of just letting them slide. White folks have been so used to having the loudest voice in the room that even basic pushback feels like an attack. The world is changing and they don't like that. More voices, more representation, more people telling their own stories instead of being spoken for. Now equality feels like oppression. Now they feel like they're losing something, but all they're losing is control. Control over the people they've been oppressing this entire time.
You know, back in the days on TikTok, girls used to be in their car crying. They used to be on the timeline with the in the car crying videos. Now they in the car dropping gems, either at the red light, you know what I'm talking about? Instead of twerking at the red light and all of that, they dropping gems at the red light. They in they little Altamars, they in they Range Rovers, they in they foreigns and whatnot, dropping gems. You know what I'm talking about? Making sense of shit, you know? It's chef's kiss when our sisters are seeing things the way that they need to be seen, and they're not scared to talk about it, and they're putting this information out there. Yeah, I hope this trend never stops. Let's go to the next goddess. Remember, this is Women's History Month. Let's go.
See how the rich white folks told the poor white folks to hate the colored people, just for the rich white folks to turn around and eat the poor white folks' kids. That's why they told you you can't have no more abortions, because you fucking up their meal. You fucking up their rituals, okay? That's why they telling you you gotta make more babies. It's crazy how the rich white folks told the poor white folks to...
We going in.
It's crazy how the rich white folks told the poor white folks to hate the colored people, just for the rich white folks to turn around and eat the poor white folks' kids. That's why they told you you can't have no more abortions, because you fucking up their meal. You fucking up their rituals, okay? That's why they telling you you gotta make more babies, so they can randomly take them through CPS and DCF, depending on what state you in, and eat them. They don't want the black babies. They don't want the little Mexican babies. They don't want the Asian babies. According to these rich white folks, we are dirty and tainted. I guess we don't taste good, right? However, they like that white meat. That soft baby white meat, okay? But they gonna tell you to hate the Mexicans and the black folks. Now, we are the enemy. Are they snacking on your kids?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Let us continue, man.
Makes a bold point. She argues that the lifestyle many foreigners dream about already exists in parts of Africa. Not in theory, in practice. In many African communities, people own what they use. Houses are built and paid for. Cars are bought outright. There are fewer long-term mortgages and heavy credit systems controlling daily life.
White people...
So, what did I come back from the islands and I said to family? What was the main message that I've come back? And I've shared this a few times. I say, yo, it's all good to be on a hamster wheel in these cities and whatnot, but these cities are not going to sustain themselves for much longer and whatnot. It's a failed experiment. It's not alive. It's a hoodwink. When you left the city, or when you left the village for the city, they sold you this dream of wealth and whatnot, but you niggas don't own anything. You went to the cities and you don't own nothing. You're not owners in the cities. You were owners in your land. You were owners in the rural communities. You were owners of the farm. You were owners of the estate, of the acres and whatnot. And they're now sent you to the city. You don't own your house. You mortgaging. You got that. Your car. The repo man to pull up on your ass. Like, there's no ownership the same way And then when you talk about the islands, places like Africa, they're owning things because they're not dealing with the credit and the usury and whatnot. They're owning things. Even if people look at them and they try to frown upon them, nigga, they own that shit. And you're not owning shit. They're taking things from you that you're working wild hard for, and you're paying a premium and you're not even owning that shit. So I would rather own something and live beyond and just live basic than to be fronting and killing myself to try to keep up with an illusion. And niggas don't own nothing. You're not going to build no legacy in no city. How about that? In no concrete jungle, my nigga, and you from the real jungle.
In many African communities, people own what they use. Houses are built and paid for. Cars are bought outright. There are fewer long-term mortgages and heavy credit systems controlling daily life.
White people traveling to third world countries really make me fucking laugh. Because every time, this is a very common sentence they say, okay? Oh my God, they're poor. And they're so happy. They're so happy and they don't have anything. And I guess that's just all they know, right? That's why they're happy. Oh my God, wow, that's so beautiful. Bitch, they got more than you. Okay, yeah, they own the fucking property. They own the car. They own a fucking farm. What do you got? A house? No, shit's mortgaged. A car? No, shit is financed to lease. Fucking credit card debt? They don't fucking credit cards there. Everything they paid was fucking cash, hard-earned money. Talking about, that's all they know. No, they know about your life. You know, they know about the Western life, about how we don't fucking own anything here. That's why they're fucking happy.
She closes with a hard truth. Many people in Europe, America, and other developed regions rely heavily on loans, mortgages, and credit systems. Homes are financed, cars are financed. Even daily expenses often run on credit. That reality made some people uncomfortable, not because she lied, but because she highlighted a contrast. In many African communities, ownership works differently. A large number of people live in homes they fully own. They drive cars they have paid for.
Somebody says she sounds like Peter Griffin. When it comes to this whole thing with the homes and everything, I want to bring a video up for my preppers, right? And I've been talking about a vision that I had about preparing and being prepped up and whatnot. I feel that that's important. We need to get some preppery. We need to get some preppery happening. So I'm going to show y'all a video that I want everybody to pay attention to, because this information could probably get people right. You know what I mean? For those that want to get right, this information is going to be good for you, especially what's going on in the world right now. All right, so let's check this out.
Prepper list covers the same items: water, food, flashlight, batteries. You already know those. This list is different. These are the 13 items that disappear from store shelves in the first 6 hours of a serious grid collapse. Not because everyone knows they need them, but because the small number of people who actually understand emergencies clean them out immediately. By the time most people realize these items exist, they are gone. Item 7 on this list is the one that will surprise you most. Stay with it. Item 1, pool shock, calcium hypochlorite granules. While every person within 20 miles is fighting over the last bottle of water from the grocery aisle, the pool supply section sits completely untouched. 1 bag of pool shock granules, calcium hypochlorite at 68% concentration, purifies up to 10,000 gallons of drinking water. That is enough clean water for a family of 4 for nearly 14 years.
How many people knew that? How many people knew that? Because I was watching videos of the people in Gaza who live near the ocean and whatnot. They didn't have no water to drink. They couldn't drink the seawater. How many people know how to do that? Let me bring that back. So I'm sure that people in this chat are definitely, and those that will watch this on the replay, y'all really gonna benefit off of this video right here, because this shit right here I would get to this immediately. Wink, wink.
Small number of people who actually understand emergencies clean them out immediately. By the time most people realize these items exist, they are gone. Item 7 on this list is the one that will surprise you most. Stay with it. Item 1, pool shock, calcium hypochlorite granules. While every person within 20 miles is fighting over the last bottle of water from the grocery aisle, the pool supply section sits completely untouched. One bag of pool shock granules, calcium hypochlorite at 68% concentration, purifies up to 10,000 gallons of drinking water. That is enough clean water for a family of 4 for nearly 14 years. A fraction of a teaspoon per gallon treats water to safe drinking standards. It stores indefinitely. The people who know about this walk straight past the water aisle to pool supplies, the section that still has stock at hour 6. Item 2. Baby wipes, unscented, sealed multi-packs, full sanitation capability with 0 water required. One sealed pack handles personal hygiene, wound surface cleaning, cooling during heat stress, and basic surface disinfection. They disappear from baby aisles while the survival section is stripped because nobody connects them to emergency preparedness. Hygiene is not a comfort issue. Infected wounds in a grid-down environment without medical access become life-threatening within days. Unscented is the specification that matters. Scented versions contain compounds that irritate open wounds. Item 3. Contractor.
All right, so they said specifically the non-scented baby wipes. For all of y'all baby wipe warriors out there, you know what I'm talking about? Stack it up, right? And you saw what they showed, that will help with any type of wounds, but it gotta be the non-scented ones because all of that other extra ish is going to irritate you. So stack up on the unscented, quote unquote. Look at all of the ways that you could use baby wipes for, right? It's multi-purpose. It is multi-purpose. It could clean you on the go. It can help you with any type of wounds. It kills off the bacteria.
Infected wounds in a grid-down environment without medical access become life-threatening within days. Unscented is the specification that matters. Scented versions contain compounds that irritate open wounds. Item 3. Contractor garbage bags, 6mm black, not standard household. Standard trash bags are useless in a real emergency. The 6mm contractor grade is a different tool entirely. Waterproof shelter layer, rain poncho in 60 seconds, ground barrier, water collection, waste management, gear protection. One box of 10 bags costs $4 and covers more scenarios than survival gear costing 10 times more. Standard bags tear under lateral stress. 6mm contractor bags hold body weight, stock the specific grade. Item 4. Superglue, cyanoacrylate, the medical grade formulation specifically. Cyanoacrylate is the same compound used in field surgery for wound closure when sutures are unavailable. Applied to a clean laceration, it seals the wound faster than any bandage and holds under physical stress. Beyond medical use, it bonds broken gear, reseals cracked boot soles, and seals cracked containers. A $2 tube outperforms $20 of standard first aid supplies for acute injuries. It never appears on emergency lists because it sounds too ordinary. That is exactly why it is still on the shelf when everything else is gone. Item 5. Wool socks. Specifically wool, not cotton, not synthetic blends. Cotton socks absorb moisture and hold it against skin. 2 miles in wet cotton socks produces blisters.
Somebody says, do you have the skills and know-how to protect what you have? This young man holding a bow and an arrow. What do you mean, sir? And why, what is that question based on? Or what's going on? Let us continue, y'all. Y'all taking notes?
4 miles produces open wounds. 6 miles makes walking genuinely difficult. Wool regulates temperature, resists odor, and critically, insulates even when completely saturated. Every grid collapse or evacuation scenario that requires walking any significant distance runs directly through the quality of what is on your feet. The sporting goods wool sock section empties by hour 4 of any serious emergency. Own 3 pairs before you need them. Item 6. hand crank AM and FM radio. Not a phone app, not a battery-powered model, specifically hand crank. Cell towers operate on backup power measured in hours. Internet infrastructure fails faster than most people expect under grid stress. A hand crank radio requires no batteries, no charging infrastructure, and no network connectivity of any kind. AM broadcast towers run on independent backup power systems that operate for weeks after grid failure. Emergency coordination frequencies, weather alerts, and public safety announcements all broadcast on AM and FM bands, regardless of what the internet is doing. In the first 6 hours of a grid collapse, a hand crank radio is the only reliable source of verified information. Every other source depends on infrastructure that is failing simultaneously. Item 7. This is the one. Write this down. A printed personal contact.
A printed personal contact list, because if the phone runs out of batteries and all of the other things that can go wrong, you at least want to have that handy so you could go ahead and have your addresses, have them phone numbers, and all of that. Okay. This also is a chart that you could screenshot, ladies and gentlemen, because this comes in handy as well for any of the family who are ready to make these moves and go and do your off-grid 1, 2, 3, right? Well, here we have the main cabin, right? These are non-structures for every off-grid home, okay? You have your chicken coop, you got your greenhouse, you have your rainwater collector, you got your woodshed, your root cellar, right? You have your workshop to put in that work, your long-term food pantry, and you got your compost system, right? As you can see in these quote-unquote illustrations, the majority of them can be made by hand, could be made by man, could be made by anybody who has any type of builder in them, man or woman. You feel me? But take a screenshot and start making this shit happen. This is not an expensive setup in right here, but this setup right here could put you on 100 acres. It could put you way outside of the city limits. It could put you in a small community and whatnot, building with your family, with your community, with your tribe, right? Men could put this shit up on some Amish shit. A group of men could put this up in 24/7. All of these structures, right?
Black people on your show, if you can afford a new Mercedes-Benz and Cadillac, you can afford 5 acres in the country. I want you to change your mentality.
Yeah.
Yes. That land, like my grandfather said, is transferable by deed of trust. If you give it to your son or your daughter, they have the ability to build a house on this, to raise a family on this land. Stop being renters and consumers and let's start being owners of our land and our own destiny. He who controls the land and controls the food controls the man.
Mr. Boyd, I have been feeling this call back to steward land.
Yes.
Right? And I'm actually going to be doing a program to be on a farm for 13 months.
Wow.
So I can learn because my family owns a great deal of land outside of Barnesville.
You come to my farm, I'll teach you everything about farming. You can take my class one-on-one.
Right? So shout out to the black farmers and whatnot. Shout out to the brothers and sisters who till the soil and whatnot. Shout out to everybody who has enough wherewithal to see, you know what I mean, down the line and whatnot, and to get themselves ready and whatnot, because I promise y'all, based off of just the way that the world is moving right now, them prices that you used to know is not going to be the prices that you're going to be seeing in the future. This shit is about to go very expensive and whatnot. So while it's affordable, make the move. While you can still afford it, make the move. You know what I'm saying? You lose nothing by making the move, but you lose everything by sitting around and waiting for this shit to get. I don't know what you're waiting for, but the signs are all pointing to the fact that something has to change in your quote unquote. The change is good and it's time to make that change. Firehorse Apocalypse. Check this out.
So yesterday I was talking to an old friend and he made me think of this, right? Why it's expensive to live in the hood, right? Follow me. We're going to talk about something real. It's expensive as hell to live in the hood, and even more expensive if you don't understand money. Here's the truth. Most people think that the hood is cheap. It's not. The hood is one of the most expensive places to live, right? Not because the rent is high, but because everything around you is meant to drain your pockets. If you don't understand financial literacy, you don't even understand that this is happening to you. So when I was talking to him yesterday, I asked him where he was coming from. He said the check cashing spot, cashing his $1,000 check. I asked him what they charge him. He said 12%. That's $120 gone instantly just to access your own money, right? He didn't even blink. I don't think it was because he's irresponsible. It was just because he didn't know about any better options. So I gave him some options, and I even gave him my Navy Federal access code, right? So he could get into Navy Federal, which I usually don't do. But I had to give it to him. But here's the financial traps. When you leave out your house or when you ride and buy, if you don't live in a hood, I want you to look around you, each and every hood, right? Any under-resourced neighborhood, you'll see the same setup. Bars and liquor stores on every corner, check cashing spots instead of real banks, payday loans, rent-to-own furniture spots, buy here, pay here car lots. Most people got $700 notes on basic cars, high interest credit, and corner stores instead of real, actual good grocery stores. This is called poverty tax. And I'm explaining to you what it means. It means the less access you have, the more you pay, right? Now follow me. You pay more because you don't have options. You pay more because you don't have the information, but I'm giving it to you. You pay more because you're forced into convenience. All of that destroys your budget before you even get paid. This is why it's important to learn now. Budgeting isn't just about saving, right? It's about protecting yourself from being taken advantage of, right? When you understand money, you stop being overcharged, you stop being manipulated, and you stop being stuck. So real quick, right? I know we was talking about the hood, right? But no matter where you live, the hood, the suburbs, the country, wherever, if you don't understand financial literacy, life is going to cost you more. It doesn't matter where you at, right? It's not about the location that keep people stuck. It's just a lack of knowledge. So I want you to pay attention, start learning a little at a time, and get busy.
Yes, yes, yes. We're going to keep getting busy. We're going to keep this information coming, y'all. Get used to this. You know what I mean? We're going to keep bringing information that's going to anchor into financial literacy. Is going to help us with our decisions that we're making, right? It's going to assist us, right? Let's revisit a conversation that I just was having the other day, and I came across this right here. Check this out.
Country come over here have sell dope, but they bought land with their money. They bought things with their money to make money. We are the only ethnic group of people that have sold dope for the last 60 years that ain't bought nothing with it but pussy, cars, and gold. And look at us now. We ain't got nothing.
Pussy, God, dog. Man, that's
and
deep.
jewelry. That's all we didn't buy. We didn't buy nothing.
I don't know what got me more crazier, this nigga's beard or what Unc just said. I don't know what the Unc said. We don't got nothing because all we bought was punani, gold, and weed. Right? And we can't blame the black man and we can't blame the black woman. I think that the financial illiteracy smacked both of us. You feel me? Brothers out there trying to impress these women and whatnot, and these women out here trying to impress each other and all of this stuff. It's the mentality. It's the mentality before anything. Our people are stuck because mentally slavery is a choice. Not signing up to a plantation. Mentally, slavery is a choice. We have become slaves to the system. And we damn sure got integrated into that burning house, and niggas is on fire. Let's just keep it a buck. But you don't want it to be to a point where the village is burning, you don't have nowhere to turn after it burns down and whatnot, because even though we minding our business and whatever's going on right now don't got nothing to do with us, while you minding your business, you got to do something. You just can't be minding your business and sitting around. It's time for us to mind our business and make some fucking moves, real moves in real time, quickly. This is a window that is not always going to stay open. They literally cut 500,000 of our people off from the job market since Trump got in office. We should be building forget the cul-de-sacs and what all of that shit. Them days is over with. The days of the cul-de-sac and all of that, them days is over with. We got to start moving on these quote unquote these family compounds and stuff like that. Every country come over here and sell dope. So you can't shame nobody that's over here about selling dope. Astaghfirullah. They made black people the face of dope, but every person, all of the nationalities came here and sold dope. God damn it, they all sold dope, but they flipped the dope. They didn't just sell dope to sell dope. They sold dope and got the fuck out of their situation, and they basically put their people in better places. They cleaned their fucking hands. They washed that money. But the way that they got us set up, because this is an operation, is really meant to trap us in particular, right? Remember, this is about the Aboriginal indigenous people who are on the land. And then everybody else who comes here could sell dope to them. But they're the ones that are in the trap. They are the trapeze, my nigga. They are the main target. If this was a war and whatnot, they know who their main target is. There is a main target, and then everybody else is working against that main target. Everybody is on code. And they flooded our communities with opiates and with dope, my nigga. And they gave motherfuckers carte blanche to sell dope to us. And then they also, that doogie, and then they gave them the stepping stones and the ladder on how to step on us and get the fuck out of their conditions on our people's back, and left us as dope fiends in a goddamn gutter. And then their people, they put their kids through college to become goddamn lawyers and judges and caseworkers and all type of shit. And those were the same people coming into our people's houses, taking their kids, breaking up the family, giving niggas football numbers. But the Cubans in Florida was the ones that brought the coke. Okay, let's talk about it. The Mexicans and them is running this coke and this fetty and everything. Let's talk about it. But they looking at us and saying Moreno and all of this stupid shit. But the Dominicans in Washington Heights brought us the cocaina. They was giving us the powder for the low. These are the Dominicans. Yeah, that shit ain't stopped us, but it needs to be, it needs to be studied. Let's go down this damn rabbit hole. Now, you remember the conversation I was having about the NBA and Magic City and whatnot, right? So this what happened. Somebody got in contact with them people and whatnot. Somebody made a call to them people and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? I think they might have called Marion Adelson or somebody. They called them people on Magic City and whatnot, got them in trouble. Somebody made that call, you know what I mean? They used to have the grandmothers that was like crime watch and whatnot. Somebody made that crime watch call. I think it was TIP in my tip. Somebody made that call to the office tip. So the NBA decided that they wanted to, do a night. Well, rather, the Atlanta Hawks decided that they wanted to do a special night where they were going to share the floor with the Magic City and whatnot. They were going to do a joint night in Atlanta, Georgia, where Magic City was going to come to the State Farms Arena and basically perform at halftime at a Hawks game, right? And then a white boy, right? A white boy from the Spurs. He was like, nah, we not doing that. And he started a campaign that all of the black players, either they were quiet about it or they were telling him, mind your business and whatnot. So Killer Mike and a few other people in Atlanta had something to say. Now we got this Jiggly Wiggly and whatnot. We got Isaac Hayes III with his dissertation. So let's go, Isaac. What do you got to say, Isaac?
So let me get this straight. The NBA has canceled Magic City Monday night in Atlanta, Georgia, where the Hawks were going to be serving lemon pepper wings, selling Magic City sweatshirts, and have a performance by T.I. I'm calling the NBA hypocrites, and here's why. First things first, I'm not here to defend strip clubs. This is not about me defending strip clubs, but it is about me pointing out selective hypocrisy by the NBA. All right, so first things first. The NBA has partnerships, gambling partnerships with DraftKings and FanDuel. Gambling. I mean, do you know the harm that gambling causes to Americans every year? Financial stress, substance abuse, physical decline, work-related damage, trauma to children and young people, relationship destroyers, and about 650 people commit suicide for gambling every year. But we're here to protect the people. So, all right, that's one. Guess what's sold at NBA games? Alcohol. Yeah, the NBA sells liquor at all their events. Alcohol kills about 178,000 people every year, right? You're talking about drunk driving, health issues when it comes to that.
He got the sound effects and everything in there. He think he killing shit right now. If Isaac Hayes ever come up missing, it was me and my barber. We kidnapped the nigga and shaped up that beard of his. If Isaac Hayes ever come up missing, y'all, don't worry, he's okay. It's just me and my barber snatched his ass up and shaped him up. He think that he killing shit with the sound effects.
And then Luke Corbett writes this article about that he feels we shouldn't objectify women. Well, do you know how much cheerleaders get paid in the NBA? Probably about $200 a game. But in fact, the San Antonio Spurs, who Luke Corbett plays for up until 2018, paid their dancers minimum wage. Minimum wage to be dancers. So the NBA promotes gambling, drinking liquor, and doesn't support a fair wage for the women that dance.
These niggas are simping for some whole favors. I'm just saying, I know the play. I'm from out here. This is some heavy simpington from both Killer Michael and Isaac and whatnot. They trying to get their own booth. You know what I'm talking about? They trying to get a little bit of credit from them strippers and whatnot. You nigga, you not slick. I see you simping.
In their league, but we draw the line at strip clubs. I call cap, but again, selective hypocrisy is a motherfucker. Anyway, shout out to Magic City. ATL and the Hawks are trying to pull off something interesting that is a staple of Atlanta. And if you're not from here, you don't get it. But the NBA, y'all are hypocrites.
Ain't that they favorite line? I heard Michael say that last night. If you ain't from out here, you don't get it. Help us get it, sir. Help us get it. We put the report up there yesterday about the median household in Atlanta being $5,000 when the median household in DC was $220,000. What did strippers and the stripper economy do for Atlanta in the past 40 years? I need every single one of you crazy ball heads to give me the math, because the math ain't mathing. So a city like Atlanta, who has built their reputation on chicken wings and strippers and whatnot, also happens to be one of the #1 hubs for sex trafficking. Your airport, which is 20 minutes away from Magic City, is the #1 hub for both child trafficking and sex trafficking. most of those women that are in Magic City, which happens to be right next to the Greyhound bus station, over many different years have found to be quote unquote exploited and whatnot. They're also a part of the sex trafficking and the human trafficking. Some of the cartels bring women that they're trafficking through the border into Atlanta to dance at Follies, to dance at Foxy Ladies, to dance at pinups, don't ask me how I know all of this shit. To dance at Magic City, right? These are trafficked women and whatnot. So tell me how does throwing singles as some goddamn prostitutes over 40 years, what did they buy to help out Atlanta to make sure that you niggas are not a quote unquote vassal state where you're literally at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to black wealth and whatnot? Let me know what it is that tricking on strippers and prostitutes have done for any one of you. You need a shape up, sir. I'm tired of looking at this nigga's face. God damn it. What has it done for anybody? Tell me, what is their benefit? Who has it benefited? How the hell is this a staple of Atlanta? What is it doing for Atlanta? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What type of institutions are they building in Atlanta? Like I said before, there's an open air dope trap right across the street from Magic City that's selling Fetty Wap right there at the at the car wash. I hope I'm not the police, but they know. Everybody knows. So no, this is not something that when I was doing I was doing Melanin Mondays, there was all type of activity going on out there with dope fiends and people homeless sleeping in front of the spot and all kind of crazy shit. Dudes looking like they wanted to be aggressive towards some of the females that were coming through to Melanin Monday, and you're promoting that for the NBA. Y'all niggas is crazy. Y'all niggas is crazy. Like, you don't have nothing else to show off. You don't got nothing else that you proud of in this city and whatnot. You don't got nothing else that you niggas can hold up to talk about black excellence. How the fuck is the black strippers become black excellence? These are prostitutes. No disrespect to them, but these women of the night are not black excellence. The nigga that own Magic City is not black excellence. Every single strip club in Atlanta and even the chicken spots are not black excellence. Who's running this city, bro? Who is it? Is it the fucking? I'm looking at the goddamn the Three Stooges. Tiny Harris, no, Tip Harris, Killer Mike, and this nigga Isaac Hayes III. Like, is this a fucking trio that we're looking at? Huh? When your kinks and your proclivities and the fact that you're into adult entertainment, that's what you lead with, and HIV is tearing this whole city up and whatnot, that's what you lead with, bro? Are you niggas dumb? Yo, Ray Daniels has the worst takes ever. Oh my goodness. Ray Daniels, I don't know why I follow the nigga. He has the worst takes in life on the internet. Like, this is what we dealing with, y'all. And we wonder why shit is not moving anywhere. These niggas will not put no bread up for nothing. They won't build nothing. They haven't built anything. They have the trap museum. Okay, you niggas, you got that off. You got the trap museum. You have a museum dedicated to you niggas trapping your people. You have a museum dedicated to putting your people, taking advantage of weak men and women who were quote unquote underneath the quote unquote underneath a vice. You have a museum to highlight how y'all took advantage of people who were suffering under addictions and vices. Is that your claim to fame? Is that what we going with? Is that what we going with? That's that boule. That's that black church. Oh, no. All right. The third stooge is not Isaac Hayes. He's in the waiting. It's fucking Jermaine Dupri. So it's Jermaine Dupri, T.I., and Killer Mike. Those was the woke mouthpieces of the ATL who said on film that they own half of ATL's real estate. You niggas are lying. Every single real estate company, I purposely take pictures of the post, right? I take a picture of whoever's behind the construction and I immediately Google that shit. Every single time I see something being built in Atlanta, I take a picture and I find out who's behind that. To this day, I might have seen 2 black faces of the 50 some odd pictures of these quote unquote construction sites. There's no melanated people that are behind those goddamn projects. You niggas are lying. We're talking about the borders of Atlanta. They ran y'all niggas out. You're lying. You don't own nothing in that city, bro. Y'all are capping. That boule shit gotta pack it up. You niggas you banked your whole existence off of Big Meech, bro. Y'all niggas call Big Meech black excellence. Y'all need bro. Bro. That is crazy. You niggas' existence and your identity was built off of BMF. Your ambassadors are dope dealers and prostitutes and tricks, my nigga. Are you serious? And simps. Like, let's be clear. There needs to be, we need a new energy out there, bro. We need a new energy from Mr. Slime, the other Jeffrey fucking Williams. You know what I'm talking about? To Jeezy with the trap shit. You niggas is doing orchestras. You got a whole orchestra. You have a 100-piece orchestra doing trap music. But you wild woke out here plagiarizing 19 keys at young Jeezy and everything, but you're doing orchestras to celebrate your trap music. I don't get it. I don't get it. Candy from the Housewives runs KATL. Yeah, morning. Basically, you niggas got your city is ran by Candy Burris in her fucking in her dildo shop. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hold this L, bro. Come on, man. Gucci man getting stripped down and robbed and everything by his own artist. Come on, fam. Come on, fam. QC selling out to the Koreans. How much music did they put out ever since QC sold it to Scooter Libby, Scooter Braun and the Koreans? The NBA want to get in bed with the underworld. I know money is bad and everything, but god damn it, once you get in the bed, you ain't gonna get out. Once you get in that bed, you not getting out. Like, come on, man. That boule shit got to come to an end, man. That y'all talk about black devils and dirty Moors and stuff like that, nigga. Y'all need to talk about that shit right there.
Country, come over here.
Come on, Chocolate Godiva, man. Come on in, Chocolate. Come on, man. I done turned up a little bit. Come talk to us, Chocolate.
Got him! Got his ass! Tell me why. Yesterday, Iran sent some missiles, right? They sent some missiles directly to Benjamin Netanyahu's home where his brother was staying. Swear to God. Baby, he done gone to glory. He is gone, bitch. I swear to God. Swear to God. Not only that. Remember, they had hit Benjamin Netanyahu's home with a drone strike. Now that didn't cause.
They done killed BB's brother, man. They done hit BB's mama house and killed his brother. How many of y'all how many of y'all know what her, how many of you could guess what this beautiful chocolate goddess, what her sign is, just by looking at her? How many people could guess what her sign is? You heard her talking, you know her temperament. How many of y'all know what her sign is just by looking at her?
Benjamin, I'm sorry, Ben with his mama's hips.
Oh yeah, they hit both of the bins today. They hit both of the bins. They hit Ben Gvir and they hit Benjamin. Yeah, they lighten shit up. A Virgo, a Sag or a Scorpio, a Virgo, Leo. There you go. She a lion, man. Y'all can't see it in her face. She a lion, y'all. They bombed his mama's house. That's right. Yeah, they out here bombing niggas' mama's houses and whatnot. She's a Leo. She said it in one of her videos. She's a Leo. She look like a lioness.
The thick one, yeah, the one that's thicker than all outside. Yeah, girl, he was whining and crying, talking about, oh, the ICC needs to investigate this. I command y'all, da 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 da. Mind you, girl, he did that after spending 2 years telling the ICC to kiss his ass from the rooter to the motherfucking tutor. And then all of a sudden, when Iran start getting up in that ass, he's scared, playing the victim. Well, baby, Iran said that victim shit don't work here. Ben Gvir said he was going to call the fofos, he was going to call the Hague and all of them. And Iran said by the time you even get to the phone, you going to be done for. Turns out they was not fucking around because they sent some drone strikes directly to Ben Gvir's home. So I go start looking shit up because I'm like, whoa, like, it's getting weird out here. It's getting real iffy. Also, last Friday, Ben Gvir wasn't in Al-Aqsa, so I think that they want his body, right? That's a whole lot of surface area to cover. I'm not going to hold you. That's a whole lot of body. That's a whole lot of body. So I went and looked it up, and it turns out it has been confirmed. Him and his wife was at his home. They hit his home. Now that whole bitch is on fire. Benjamin Netanyahu's home and Ben Gvir's home was on fire. And they said Ben Gvir is in the hospital. He's in critical condition, and they don't know if he's going to make it through the night. Hallelujah. 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 Listen. Please, God. Lord, if you love me, you'll pull the plug on that motherfucker. Lord, if you love me, you'll pull the plug. Ooh, Lord, if you love me, you'll... Ooh, Jesus. My God, on today. Did I wish for it to happen? No. I can't say that I didn't want to wish for it. I just said I didn't wish for it. What I can say is this is I'm not sad about it. I'm not upset about it. You know what I mean? That's what I can say is I'm not upset about it. You know, this is war. These things, they do happen in times such as these.
Big Pope. This is the war report. Big Popo wrote. This is the chocolate Godiva right here, introducing you to chocolate Godiva. Okay, this is the war report, and this is our war report correspondence. All right, you know they had Charlie's Angels. Well, this is Schoolie's Angels. You know what I'm talking about? This is Schoolie's Angels. She doing the war report.
Anywho, yeah. That's pretty much what's going on around town, girl. It's real bad out there. Now, I know it's a lot of y'all that's gonna be like, I was just on X and they said I did the growth side of this line, so y'all know I made sure I went to go find a reputable source who can provide you with the utmost information about it. Because I know some of y'all doubters gonna be like, oh, growth say. I don't give a fuck what growth say. Growth be lying, bitch. Hold on.
The Iranians are showing an ability to get intelligence information inputs in the morning and strike in the afternoon with deadly effect. And also, they're starting to expand their target deck. Remember, they didn't invent the concept of regime change. That was Israel on day one, killing Ali Khamenei. Last night, the Iranians struck the home of Benjamin Netanyahu. They killed his brother. They struck the home of Ben Gvir. He is seriously wounded, may not survive. Iran is going to start to take out the totality of Israel's leadership. This is the reality of this conflict. Israel played the regime change game. It's going to be the Israelis who are going to be paying the highest price. The Iranians are no longer wearing kid gloves. They've taken them off and they're coming in bare knuckle.
They're reporting it. This is interesting. I looked it up as soon as you said it. The BBC is reporting it as Ben Gvir was in a car accident last night.
No, they got his ass.
Does that surprise you?
Got him.
they can report it any way they want. We know that his home is on fire. So maybe he crashed his car
That
in
was
his
really
house.
to y'all. Baby, they got his ass. No, ma'am. They got his ass. They said 10 points. Finally. Don't forget about small church. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is just make sure small church is on that list. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to. Don't forget about small church. Talking about some car crash. This was the car crash. That was the car crash. And the fact that BBC is already being coached and CNN is already being coached on how to repaint the picture basically tells us, baby, it's a good possibility he ain't gonna make it. So they want to say, okay, how can we make this sound a little bit more heroic and not seem like Iran is winning? That's what it's given. Let's repaint the picture. That was the car crash. He got in the car crash last year. They got his ass. Benjamin Netanyahu's brother got his ass. That's his house. That's his house. Yup. They got y'all stored in fucking bunkers. And this how he living? Ciao. So boom, right? This the thing. They said that underneath Ben Gabir with his mama's hips, he about to be sashaying them hips straight for Satan. Down under. So the thing is that he had a fortified tunnel underneath his home. And word on the curb is he actually tried to run and he actually tried to hide in the tunnel. That's just what the streets are saying. I'm just letting you know with the T, that's the geopolitics T's and the keys. That's just what the T's, that's what they say. Okay, don't be mad at me. They said he was hiding in his bunker tunnel thingy majiggy. And they saw him and they got his ass. They was like, you can run, baby, but you can't hide. And they fucked him up real bad. He said he's in real bad shape. And you heard what the fucking man said. They don't expect him to make it through the night, baby. They ain't expecting him to make it. Lord, if you love me, seeing what you can do for other people. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just, search my heart for the answer.
Man, I ain't gonna tell y'all brujas what y'all should be doing, but nigga, the fuck? Listen, I'ma just leave it at that. We could go down the war rabbit hole and everything, but that's a whole nother episode for the war report. We're gonna bring the war report back. I just needed to leave it there on Chocolate Godiva. We had a good night with all of these women and whatnot, giving they information and whatnot, dropping their videos, just giving what it's supposed to give. Man, y'all help that girl out that shot up Rihanna's house, man. She needs some milk. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody needs to go ahead and help that girl. She needs some herbs and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Go help her. She needs some help. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and remind y'all that tomorrow, okay, if you're in the Atlanta area, we need y'all in the building. Tomorrow, we're gonna have Techno Bowl. And that's just not going to be an IRL. We're going to be doing things and whatnot. I think I'm bringing out my Clawbot. I'm going to show the family the Clawbot. I'm going to show them how to do the order, how the agentic AI and everything works. We're going to be doing some work. So make sure if you're in Atlanta, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., we'll be at Spence City headquarters. Go ahead and get your ticket right there with the QR code. You'll get all of the information that you need when you get your ticket. All right, and that's tomorrow. Techno Bowl right here in the ATL, IRL, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, we are going to get up out of here. Word from our sponsors, then we're going to end the show. Peace, love, and light, y'all. V-Cell CMOS. Whoo, wait till you see what we got cooking with V-Cell. Man, I'm about to blow your minds.
V-Cell in my cup, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by CMOS. Flow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Run it up, 99 minerals, flaws. V-Cell in my cup, I'm feeling right. Sip to the sunrise, dance to the night. From the oceans, kiss to your city lights. 21 flavors, pure health in every bite. Drip so clean, we're custom made. From reef to street, we elevate. Gold green gel, set the record straight. Nature in a bottle, that's a better way. Charge me up, no caffeine crash. Clean energy, steady splash. From skin to gut, yeah, we live from within. Wellness on 10, let the rhythm begin. Pour it up, pour it up. Feel the wave, body thanking me. Every save, ocean wisdom in this glass. We sell magic, see moss. We sell in my car, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by sea moss. Glow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Count it up, 99 minerals, floss. Island breeze in the city maze. We're mineral rich in 1,000 ways. Immunity high like the summer rays. Hydrate the hustle, fuel your days. Berry, mango, ginger, lime. Pick your flow, your flavor, your time. Beauty and balance we redefine. Every little sip, align your shine. Wait up, feel the way, body thanking me. Every step, ocean wisdom in this glass. We sell magic, see moss. We sell in my car, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by sea moss. Glow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Count it up, 99 minerals, floss. From the coral choir to the heartbeat drum. Roots run deep where the wild tides hum. Real ones know where the glow comes from. We sell in the mix now, watch us.